How do you find the will to fight back against a world that wants to keep you sedated, average, and stuck in place? Join us for the tools and strategies you need to create a life of abundance, discipline, and high achievement. This is the Tactical Empire with Jeff Smith.
Hey guys, my name is Doug Mitchell, and I know you're expecting to see Jeff Smith, but he had a family emergency this week, so we're filling in for him with a couple of best of episodes for you. So if this is your first time tuning in, this is a great episode to really see what the Tactical Empire is all about. And if you're a repeat listener, we're going to go back into the archives and do the best of episode, in this case, for January 2024. So before we get into it, I want to take a moment and thank each and every one of you for your continued support, your feedbacks, comments, and engagement that has kept us motivated to bring you the best content possible. All right, without further ado, let's jump right into it. Episode 89 is titled Harnessing Discipline and Strategy. Jeff and Sean drop some serious knowledge bombs that you won't want to miss. Let's check it out.
I think the most important thing that they all can do is they need to understand direction. And I mean, just like everything else, you have to understand what you want to determine where you're going, right? I had a conversation with a guy who was really, really amped up about having some money locked up and some equity locked up and some things, and it was pissing him off and frustrating him. And ultimately the thing was that he really was frustrated with his lack of movement, if you will, and progress. But if you really asked him a lot of leading questions, there were two things that stood out to me. Is he didn't know where the fuck he was going, no matter what. You could have dumped $10 million cash on his plate today and he wouldn't know what to do. He would have just not squandered it, but went in some direction that likely could have been the wrong direction for him. And in the meantime, we talked about all the other facets of life, and he assured me that he was buttoned up on everything. And I mean, you know how I am. When someone tells me they're a level 10 in every area of their life, I'm just like, fuck off. Just because I mean, I'm enough of a realist to understand that, to me, when people come in and they say that they've got everything buttoned up except their finances, I know that they're not very coachable at that moment. And that's what that tells me. If you're talking about family and fitness and all this other shit, now, I mean, we deal with a lot of fit guys, right? And so the fitness side of things is pretty good and dialed in a lot of times. And the discipline side of things that comes along with fitness is sometimes buttoned up. But I mean, honestly, if I approach anybody and they tell me that they're living level 10 lives everywhere, but their bank account, I don't believe it ever.
Yeah.
It just doesn't. That's not the way life works.
So in that video, Jeff talked about the importance of direction and knowing where you want to go. He shared a powerful anecdote about a guy frustrated with his lack of progress, highlighting the crucial role of clarity in achieving success. It's all about having a clear vision and staying disciplined, folks. As Jeff put it wisely, living a level 10 life means more than just excelling in one area. It's about balance and mastery across the board. So whether you're striving for financial freedom, fitness, goals, or personal growth, remember Jeff's words: understand where you're going and then execute with discipline. All right, so buckle up because we're about to dive into another riveting discussion from the Tactical Empire. This time, we're revisiting episode 90, titled Chaos in 2024. This is one of my favorite episodes. Sean shares a deeply personal perspective on navigating turbulent waters of the modern world, and Sean emphasizes the importance of prioritizing self-care and serving one's microeconomy amidst the chaos. Let's check it out.
I've always been in the camp of take care of yourself, take care of your microeconomy first, take care of your personal finances and your family. And whatever, quote, they do, it doesn't matter. And after going through, the ringer of what has been the past almost 8 years now, to be honest, to the people listening, over the past 6 to 12 months, I've started to open my mind to understanding and truly believing that there are forces at play that are really trying to fuck people over. I knew that, certain certain structures of economies had built in things that, some people are going to do better than others. Sure. Cool. I'm a fan of that. But now the more that I get exposed to it, I think there are forces at play. And so I don't want to fall down that rabbit hole to the point where I'm paranoid or obsessed over it. Cause I think my strategy has done well for me and my family, to be honest with you. Like, I'm really happy with where we are in life. And so I don't want to become someone that, stays up at night and worries about this shit, but someone that's in my position. Like, what do I have to understand? What are some things that I can do without maybe crossing over that fence and falling down? That may be a rhetorical question. I don't know. Like, I just want to make sure that I'm watching the right things, listening to the right people, and continuing to do what I've done. Because like I said, I still believe that I'm in control of a lot of things in my own ecosystem.
All right, guys. So you heard it here first. Take care of your personal finances and your family. He advises wise words indeed, especially in today's unpredictable landscape. But what sets this conversation apart is Sean's candid acknowledgement of external forces at play, forces that, in his words, are trying to mess people over. It's a sobering realization, isn't it? To recognize that game isn't always fair, that there are unseen hands shaping our destinies. Yet, amidst the awareness, Sean maintains a sense of balanced perspective. He refuses to succumb to paranoia or obsession, instead on focusing what he can control within his own ecosystem. All right, guys, next up we have episode 91, Expand Your Empire 16, Liquidity and Leverage.
Conventional norms don't teach you that. They don't teach you the velocity of money and the speed at which you need to move. Like, money loves speed, right? I say that frequently, but like, it's so true. And when you talk about leverage and liquidity, I mean, most people don't understand the equity that they've built up in different areas of their lives and their access to cash. And so, like, that's where we talk about with regards to liquidity, is unlocking some of that and understanding how to use it so that it returns cash flow. Because at the end of the day, cash flow is the number one lifeblood of your financial situation, right? It's nice to have a paid off house. I presume. I've never had one. I don't intend on ever having one.
What a loser. What a loser.
Yeah. But again, that's where leverage comes into play, right? You can accumulate a large portfolio of assets using leverage, whether it's businesses or real estate or whatever you want, or even stocks. They use leverage in trading as well. Shorts and puts and things like that. They borrow on leverage. And so when you talk about the people who actually create wealth, it leaves a breadcrumb trail of people using leverage every single time, and using other people's money to do it, right? The bank being number one in that scenario, but also private capital and things like that.
All right, guys. Money loves speed, says Jeff, emphasizing the need to move swiftly in unlocking assets and accessing cash. It's a mindset shift. Instead of fixing on stagnant equity, Jeff advocates for harnessing liquidity to generate cash flow, the lifeblood of financial stability. Sure, having a paid off house might seem appealing to some, but as Jeff points out, leverage is the key to expanding your empire. And that's what we're doing here. Leveraging assets, whether it's real estate, business, stocks, it opens doors to potential growth. All about leveraging other people's resources to propel your own success. From borrowing capital from banks to tapping into private investments, the path to wealth is creation, and it's paved with leveraging opportunities. Remember, guys, the true architects of wealth leave behind a breadcrumb trail of leveraging strategies. It's time to embrace the power of leverage and unlock the full potential of your financial arsenal. And so next, we're unpacking another pivotal moment, but this time it's from episode 92, where Jeff and Sean delve into the essence of leadership mastery. In this clip, Jeff shines a spotlight on the scarcity mindset that plagues many entrepreneurs, both in terms of leadership and finances. Check it out.
There's scarcity of leadership from a mindset. Like, I can't lead these people. And there's scarcity of money because most entrepreneurs come into the game and they're top line accountants, and they look at the checking account and they spend whatever's in it. And like, that keeps them chasing their tails for years. And so being able to identify talent and invest in it is probably the best investment you can possibly make if you have access to a business. Because that person, if you put $1 in, kicks you more than $1 back out, right?
Yep.
It's the scenario where you give me 100, I'll give you 200. And so you have to grow your skill set in order to manage, and your mindset in order to manage and lead a group of people, and also have enough self-belief and consistency. That's why, I mean, personal development is the most important thing you can be doing on a regular basis. Because, like, if I want to level up my team and bring on true A players, you've got to look at yourself and say, am I in fact an A player that these motherfuckers will follow? Or am I a C player that they're going to run all over me or be disappointed and quit?
All right, guys. Jeff emphasizes the importance of identifying and nurturing talent within your organization. This is huge. It's not about filling positions, it's about cultivating a team of A players who propel your business forward. But here's the kicker: leadership starts from within. To effectively lead, you must first cultivate your own skills and mindset. Personal development is not a suggestion, it's a necessity, it's a requirement. Whether it's honing in your communication skills, mastering emotional intelligence, or fostering a growth mindset, continuous improvement is the cornerstone of effective leadership. All right, get ready to navigate challenges and seize opportunities like never before as we discuss episode 93. In this profound segment, Sean reminds us that success doesn't happen overnight. Some plans, he says, fucking take time. Whether you're building a multi-million-dollar company or pursuing any ambitious goal, that patience is key. Let's get into it.
Some plans fucking take time. They do take 3, 4, 5 years. If you're trying to build a multi-million-dollar company to exit, right? Like, it's going to take time to build out that business. Now, in today's age, you can do it faster than plenty of people have done in the past. But there's going to be a lot of lessons. There's going to be a lot of challenges. There's going to be a lot of hurdles to get over. So, like, I like that, right? Every question you ask yourself has to be followed by a why. Why am I doing this? What is the end game? What is the North Star? Where am I getting at? So, but again, build in the flexibility there too, because life has a habit of changing.
It's a reminder that progress is not always linear. There will always be lessons learned, challenges to overcome, and hurdles to conquer along the way. But here's the beauty of it: every challenge is an opportunity in disguise. As Sean wisely puts it, every question we ask ourselves, why, what, where, is an opportunity to clarify our goals. Flexibility is paramount. Life is unpredictable, and our plans must adapt accordingly. It's about building resilience and embracing change as a constant companion on the journey to success. All right, guys, last but not least, we have Kirsten Smith leading us on a journey of self-discovery and intentional living. In this clip, Kirsten and Jeff reflect on the pivotal realization, the importance of intentionally shaping their lives. Kirsten vividly describes a period of chaos and overwhelm marked by poorly managed real estate and an abundance of stressors. Check it out.
I think that's what we were missing, because if we lived our life from 2020, 2021, that era, which was chaos, right? Like, we brought on a lot of chaos on ourselves with all the real estate that we owned and managed, a lot of the time poorly, just because it was too much stuff. There were too many moving parts all the time, right? It's just like the kids getting overwhelmed because they had too many toys to play with. So we would not be able to take that life and uproot it and move it into an RV. We would hate each other, right? Because you're taking something that isn't working in this setting and you're just putting it into a probably more stressful situation. But you haven't fixed any of those core issues. And so I think that you don't have to take it to this logical end and go move into an RV and be crazy, but applying that filter and that level of intentionality and figuring out how you want to actually live life and what's important and how you're utilizing your time. Are you creating, more confusion and more tension and stressors in life than you really need? Like, you can fix that in a sticks and bricks house, right? Like, that's what we've been doing for the last 6 months. And that's why I feel like life has improved so much. But I think that's something that's accessible for everyone. But to take the chaos, to take the overcomplication, take all the stressors, take the tension, take all of that, and then put it into an RV, that's a no-go.
I think most people are just willing to sustain like the level of pain that they're dealing with and accept it as like the norm of what it is. And like, I think that's why like vision casting and like doing visions with you as far as like where do we want to be in 3 years is so important. And having someone on your team that is willing to challenge the conventional thought process as well. Because I mean, this is like what I teach and I preach, and surround myself with people that are willing to go on this journey with me. And is because ultimately it's like if something's not serving you, whatever it is in your life, for whatever reason, like you need to unpeel it and understand like why do you have those feelings about it? Why do you feel that way? And then what's the direction you should be going with it?
Guys, it's a scenario many of us can relate to, a life cluttered with distractions and tension, like kids overwhelmed with too many toys. Kirsten advocates for applying a filter of intentionally living our lives, regardless of our surroundings. It's about examining how we utilize our time, we minimize those stressors, and we create a life aligned with our values. You don't have to uproot your life necessarily to make meaningful changes. It's about challenging the status quo and envisioning a better future. Like we all know, surround yourself with people who challenge conventional thought and are willing to embark on this journey with you. And as Jeff reminds us, if something isn't serving you, it's time to peel back the layers and understand why and chart a new course. And guys, that wraps up the best of January 24 episode. From harnessing discipline, strategy, to navigating challenges and seizing opportunities, we covered a vast array of topics aimed at empowering you to lead with intentionality and purpose. Whether you're striving for financial freedom, mastering the art of leadership, or just seeking clarity in your life choices, the principles shared on this show can guide you towards your goals. Stay tuned for more empowering insights on the Tactical Empire. Be sure to join the Tactical Empire Facebook group and remember to hit that subscribe button. Give this episode a thumbs up and send it to someone that you think could benefit from this. And as always, share your thoughts with us.